The earth does not owe us its bounty. The seed does not burst open because we demand to eat. We worship the sun that warms the fields, but we forget that the cycle of life and death was born from a broken heart that starved the world until the heavens were forced to listen. Myths and legends. Demeter. She was one of the firstborn, swallowed by her father Cronus and rescued to bring life to the barren earth. Demeter was the pulse of the soil, the golden wheat, and the guarantor of human survival. Her world was whole because of her daughter Persephone. The age of unbroken abundance ended in a meadow of Nyssa, while the young goddess bent down to pluck a narcissus crowned with 100 blossoms. The earth split open with a sound like tearing iron. From the black chasm rose the golden chariot of the Lord of the underworld, driving his immortal black horses. Before the maiden could scream, her uncle seized her, pulling her down into the darkness. The earth closed. No mortal eye had seen where she was taken. Only Hecate heard the cry from her cave, and Helios, watching from above, knew the truth. Demeter heard the echo, a sharp, cold blade piercing her heart. She tore her veil, draped dark robes over her shoulders, and descended from Olympus, carrying 2 burning torches into a world that was about to die. For 9 days and 9 nights, the goddess wandered the earth without tasting ambrosia or bathing her skin. Neither god nor mortal would tell her the truth. On the 10th day, Hecate came to Demeter, and together they went to the sun god, who revealed what the gods had concealed. The king of heaven had given his own daughter to the Lord of the dead in a secret pact of marriage. Consumed by a rage deeper than her sorrow, Demeter abandoned the assembly of the gods entirely. Disguised as an old, withered woman named Doso, she wandered until she sat beside the well of the maiden in Eleusis. Taken in by the royal family, she agreed to nurse the infant prince, Demophon. In her secret grief, Demeter tried to make the mortal child immortal, anointing him with ambrosia by day and placing him into the heart of the hearthfire by night to burn away his mortality. But when the boy's mother discovered her child in the flames and screamed in terror, the goddess broke her spell. She shed her mortal disguise, bursting into divine light that filled the palace, and demanded that a great temple be built in her honor, where she would teach humanity the secrets of life beyond death. Her temple was built, but her heart remained empty. Within the dark sanctuary, she enacted a siege that threatened to erase humanity from the earth, and with it, the worship that sustained the honors of Olympus. Demeter withheld her blessing from the soil. She locked the seeds deep within the dirt, refusing to let the green shoots break through the crust. The oxen dragged heavy plows through dry, cracking fields for nothing. The golden barley rotted beneath the surface. A brutal, relentless famine gripped the entire face of the earth. Mortals began to starve across the earth, and as the fields turned to dust, the altars grew cold. No smoke rose to Olympus, no sacrifices were made to the gods. Demeter had cut the supply line of heaven, proving that the king's thunderbolts meant nothing if there were no humans left to fear them. Zeus sent messenger after messenger, offering gifts and titles, but Demeter did not move. She swore the earth would remain dead until she looked upon her daughter's face again. Forced to yield, the king sent Hermes down into the underworld. Carrying the command that Persephone be restored to her mother. The Lord of the Dead obeyed his brother's command, but he was not without cunning. Before Persephone stepped onto the chariot to return to the light, her husband offered her the seeds of a pomegranate. She ate them, unknowingly sealing a binding cosmic law. Anyone who consumes the food of the dead becomes bound to the realm of shadows. When mother and daughter wept and embraced on the hills of Eleusis, the relief was short-lived. Demeter realized the trap. Because she had eaten the pomegranate seeds, Persephone was bound to spend half of every year in the dark below, as queen of the underworld, returning to her mother when spring arrived. Demeter accepted the compromise, unlocked the earth, and allowed the fields to burst with green once more. The first winter had ended, but the cycle of loss was locked into time. The snow melts and the green shoots return. Demeter is the personification of the necessary grief. She represents the realization that growth and decay are inseparable. She is the mother who shows us that love carries the weight of inevitable loss, and that nature operates on a rhythm of sacrifice. We need her myth because it explains our winter. She is the reminder that abundance is not permanent, and that every season of harvest is bought with a season of waiting in the cold. She is the quiet, ancient truth that even in the darkest depth of the soil, life is not ended. It is simply waiting for the return of the light. The goddess of the harvest watches the golden grain sway in the wind, her daughter standing by her side. The earth is alive. The cycle holds. But as the sun reaches its peak, the music of flutes and beating drums begins to ring out from the mountains. Where the god of wine and madness prepares to tear down the walls of reason. Myths are not records of the past. They are mirrors of the human mind, passed down, reshaped, and remembered, long after the world that created them disappeared.